Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Your brother Najib here, and today we are back with the Deen Lovers episode here, bringing amazing content that gets us all closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what Deen Love is all about, loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, loving each other, and loving yourself. And all the content we provide here surrounds on those three loves, and they are the ultimate love that each mu'min, each Muslim should pursue, inshallah. And that's وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى, which is why we're here today, trying to encourage each other and help each other in that which is righteousness and leads to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in khair.
Absolutely.
For sure. So inshallah today we got Uthman. Today, for the first time, he's sitting on my right side. What's going on, man?
I don't know.
This feels awkward.
I just felt like, today was the day.
Did the new name come up yet? We're waiting for the new name. It says the Royal Akhi is out of the picture. What is next?
You need Tajdeed, man. Bring that nigga
back. Today, we got an amazing topic for you guys, and it is al-ilm, knowledge. Knowledge is foundational. It is the pursuit of life, pursuit of happiness surrounds upon knowledge and implementing it. Right? Knowledge that's not implemented, it's like a donkey carrying gold. He doesn't know what he's carrying, doesn't know the worth, doesn't know the value, does not know much. So we're talking about it from a different angle today. We want to look deep into brothers and sisters and how they pursue this lifestyle, right? We're going to compare how brothers and sisters pursue deen education and secular education, and why they each take certain paths. And we're going to talk about both brothers and sisters in ways that maybe you have not heard before, inshallah. So we're going to get into it right now. On the first point that we actually want to talk about is actually knowledge. How important is knowledge, Uthman? Is knowledge important at all?
Knowledge is important.
Is this something we should prioritize?
Knowledge is absolutely. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Much love and respect and salutations upon our beloved, peace be upon him. Knowledge is very, very important, whether it's secular or it's Deeni. Right? Yeah. Of course, the Deeni is more important, but even the secular. There was a story. I just we gotta get into stories, right? So there's there was a sheikh sitting down with a atheist once. And this person was saying, hey, listen, they were having dinner, right? It's at a restaurant. He says, hey, in your Quran, it says that Allah explained about all type of knowledge, right? So then the sheikh said, yes. It says, did he explain the knowledge about this food? He says, yes, it's in the Quran. He says, show me where.
Give me the evidence.
Yes. So then the sheikh says, he calls the waiter over. He says, waiter, what's in this food? The waiter says everything, explains. He's like, well, where'd you get that from? He says, that's in the Quran. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask those who know, they're knowledgeable of the specific matter if you yourself do not know it. Subhanallah. So this is not only in the matter of deen, but also in the matter of dunya, right?
Sure.
Some people, they mess themselves up by saying things sometimes which they are not sure about when it comes to the deen, which is obviously much more important. But also in the dunya, it can definitely have a lot of repercussions. For sure.
Idris, is knowledge important? Is it something that even from a young age a person should really emphasize and prioritize and make it a goal, a necessity?
Definitely, for sure. All walks of life, whether you're a Muslim or not, whether you're a Muslim or you believe in other religions, whatever it may be, knowledge is definitely very important. But for the mu'min, for the Muslim, knowledge is very, very, very important, right? Especially knowledge about Islam and the basics and the things that are, pertaining to that individual.
Yeah,
is very important. The first, revelation that the Prophet received from Allah was Iqra, read.
Yeah,
which is a form of knowledge, right?
Yeah.
The most famous word in the Quran, without a doubt, is Allah, with all of his different variations. The second most popular word in the Quran is ilm, with all of his different variations.
Yeah,
right. So ilm in the Quran, many times Allah talks about it. Allah shows that Allah says, I bear witness, Allah bears witness that none has the right to be worshipped, and the angels bear witness, and the people of knowledge bear witness. Look where Allah put the people of knowledge in the same category as Allah and the angels. So in our religion, it's undoubtedly a very important, if not the most important topic.
Mm-hmm. famous hadith to wrap up this point of how the importance of knowledge, and I'm sure all the Deen lovers out there know how important knowledge is, but just وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَى تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, we remind because the remembrance, it benefits the believers. The Prophet ﷺ says in the famous hadith, مَنْ يُرِيدِ اللَّهُ بِهِ خَيْرًا يُفَقِّهُ فِي الدِّينِ, right? Whoever Allah wants good for, He gives him the understanding of the Deen. Knowledge is very, very important. وكذلك نفس الشيء, knowledge of dunya is very crucial. In it, you will find, especially if this knowledge is not only used to benefit yourself, but also used to benefit others, whether it's biology, chemistry, whether it's some type of skill, you're an architect, whatever it might be, knowledge of dunya is, and or you're a businessman, whatever business is, the sunnah. So these things are very important. It's not our topic today, emphasizing on knowledge and talking about the importance, but we have to, since we're tackling it from a different angle. So if one key thing you gotta take away from this intro is that knowledge is foundational and you must have it and pursue it. So let's get into our topic today, which is brothers and sisters and how their pursuit of life when it comes to this department. So first, let's talk about. We'll start with the sisters, because if I start with the brothers, Uthman might be like, "Why are you starting with the brothers and not the sisters?" Right? Uthman, we're on the same page. All right. So let's talk about Deen education first. When it comes to Deen education, you will find in many families they treat their young men and women differently. Uthman, what have you seen in this department? Do families put more emphasis on brothers to learn, seek Deen knowledge, or both, or sisters priority, or what do you think?
I think in many most Muslim communities, if not all of them, they do prize the brothers much more. So they do encourage them to go study the Deen, because we want to have future imams inside the masajid. And we can have females as imams in the masjid, and in other forms of ways of teaching the people. So they're always in that practical sense, they're encouraged and pushed to go learn the Deen much more, and also in secular studies as well, to become a lawyer, a doctor, and those sort of things. It's important. Because when you get married, they're going to be, carrying on the lineage of the family as well. Unfortunately, our sisters, right, they're not given too much encouragement to go study the Deen. But however, it's changing today. It's changing, alhamdulillah. Yeah. And we do need female ulama who are grounded in proper knowledge of the Quran, the Sunnah. We do need that. So, but they are also, women today, I think in the West especially, Muslim women are excelling in secular knowledge a lot more, right? Yeah. Now that they've been exposed to it much more than their grandparents or parents themselves, alhamdulillah. So I think in those fields, women are succeeding much more than men.
Okay. What are your thoughts, Idris, on family and upbringing when it comes to Deen education? How are brothers and sisters treated? Are they treated the same, differently, both? What do you think?
I think they're treated the same. Boys and girls, I think they have the equal opportunity to go to Dugsi madrasa, right? Okay. When you talk about when they get older and seeking knowledge, that's a different story. Yeah. But when they're young and they're in the protection of their mom and dad, they are equally, they go to the same madrasa as their brothers. The sisters are very good, right? The sisters are actually very good when it comes to that. All the little girls right now in the madrasas, if you look at them and they're very good, right? The boys are the ones that really need a harder push, right? They're distracted easily. So when they're younger, it's equal. I think parents push both their kids to succeed. I don't think any parent is telling their daughter to hold back. You don't have to know. But as they get older, and the guy has more opportunities to go by himself, he can travel by himself to any country he wants to learn. With a sister, she needs somebody to travel with, and those things come into play. When it comes to secular knowledge,
which we're gonna get into. Everybody's running towards secular knowledge. What's going on here, guys? You guys are trying to talk about secular knowledge.
Why you stop him and you allowed me to keep going? That's discrimination.
I didn't know it was going to become a trend.
I was joking. Go ahead.
Yeah, but me too. I think when they're young, when brothers and sisters are both young, they're treated the same way. Sorry.
No, you guys knew what I meant. I didn't mean that.
We didn't know what you meant, man.
But that's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
But no, they're treated the same way. I think when all families really work hard, even though one of the saddest thing I've ever seen was a parent who came, but maybe let's talk about it before I share that story that happened to me at a student that I was a teacher for once. Do parents emphasize more on deen education or secular education, especially when the kids are younger? What do you think first?
That one's gonna
Tough,
be a little bit tough because there is an element where parents are, even if they're not the most practicing people, they're concerned.
Yeah.
And they have that sort of concern. They express it by taking them to Dugsi.
Yeah.
And they want some sort of teacher, Ma'lan, to teach them,
Yeah.
right? And I think that has a lot more to do because just for speaking for Somalis only, that the religion is embedded in the culture, right?
Okay.
So you not knowing the religion doesn't make you really a proper Somali. So I think to a certain extent, there's that concern at a very young age. As they get older or they finish the Quran, then it's like, all right, that's enough there. Pump your brakes. Now go and be a doctor. You gotta make us some money, right? So I think there's that sort of, those dynamics.
Idris, what are your thoughts? Most of the parents you've dealt with or you've seen in the
Yes.
community, are they more putting priority on deen education or secular education?
They put more emphasis on secular education, but they don't have a choice. The kid goes to school for 5 days, he goes to Dugsi for 2 days.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up. Yeah. So there are some parents, very rare parents who are gems that take their kids to Dugsi every day.
Yeah.
Or 3 days out of the week. So
Yeah.
those ones are doing extra.
Yeah.
But the regular parent, their kids go to Dugsi school Monday to Friday.
Of course.
They have to do their homework. So obviously they have more homework than they have Dugsi work. So the kid is going to spend more time in homework, and the kid still needs his free time. So he'll do a little bit of his madrasa work throughout the week. And then those 2 days he's at Dugsi for 3-4 hours a day.
Yeah.
And then it's over. But school definitely takes a larger chunk of their time. So the parents have to worry about that more.
Yeah.
But then it's up to the parent to put in the same hours.
To find that balance,
To find that balance.
Yeah. I'm thinking most parents do put more emphasis on secular education, and their priority is mainly because now secular education became the standard for having a successful life.
Yeah.
The standard for having a successful life. So parents think that if their kids don't succeed in school and graduate from high school, graduate from college, they're gonna be low lives.
They're not successful.
Yeah, exactly. So when a brother or a sister after high school comes up and says, "Hey, I actually want to go study Deen," most families, what do they do with that?
No, they stop them. They put a halt on it.
Yeah.
For many reasons. I think just some some really modern day issues that go on is the fear of extremism.
Okay.
They're afraid that they may become extreme, or some of the things that they've seen, especially the media pushes about the scare of you don't want your kid, you don't want to be too religious.
Yeah.
Or people point you out and they may plant something on you that you didn't mean or something, and then label you as this, and then and it's that sort of fear. But usually I say parents, after like they finish Dugsi, it's like that's where it stops. It ends there.
Subhanallah. Idris, have you ever felt? Because go ahead. You want to add a point? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I would disagree with that, man.
Okay.
I think parents. Parents look at the position parents are in. They come to this country, they try their best to put the kids in the best shoes. So these parents came into this country from a war-torn country. They're thinking, my kid, I'm gonna try my best to put food on the table, put clothes on his back, put a roof over his head, so he can go to school, get education, become a doctor, and take care of me.
Yeah.
This is what all the parents are thinking.
Yeah.
So when the kid goes through high school and he gets out of high school and he says, "Mom, I'm going to go learn the Deen," he's going to be gone for 4, 5, 6 years. You're not bringing money in. So who's taking care of your mom? So that's the position they're put in. So I don't think it's selfish for a mother to say, no, you can learn here, right? And there's nothing wrong with a brother learning the basics of the Deen, becoming fundamental in the basics of the Deen. If it means that if you learn secular education, you'll provide for your family. That's a greater right?
Yeah.
Because you don't have to seek extra ilm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you learn the basics,
Yeah.
and you're grounded and you're well grounded, and you become a doctor,
Yeah.
and you open doors for your family and your brothers, you're able to take care of them, and now you put your kids in a better situation, because now your kids don't have to worry about you. You're set, you're a doctor, your future kids can go become ulama.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
true, but do you think that we've created that sort of dichotomy as well?
That is what parents meant to do. That's what I'm trying to say. Parents, that was their goal.
Yeah, I
For
know,
us
I
to
know.
become
But
doctors
Yeah.
and become wealthy.
Yeah.
right, but just to feed into that and say, you know what? Well, there's no money into that. Do you think that's a doing of our community too? That we don't actually make positions or things in our community that actually do take care or give a living wage to somebody who is seeking knowledge. We don't invest in that ourselves. Is what I'm saying. So when we're always feeding into the status quo, saying, "Hey, look, money is in secular knowledge and not in religious knowledge," and we do nothing to change that sort of discourse, then I mean,
It's
of
tough.
course,
Like,
it's
we'll
gonna
have a backlash
It's
on
going
the
to keep
community.
on continuing.
There's this trend that I realize with parents, okay? And family is very important, obviously, in this topic. Their parents don't want their kids to be religious, and they also want them to be religious. So they're always looking for that fine balance. Have you ever felt that?
They don't want to be too religious.
maybe that's
Too
what I'm
yeah.
trying to say. They don't want their kids to be
Too
too religious,
Yeah,
but they want them to be religious.
yeah.
What do you get?
The
get away
brother,
from that?
Brother Uthman mentioned a good point. I think it has a lot to do with just fear.
Yeah,
They're scared of
Yeah.
something. They don't want their kids being followed, right? So
Yeah.
they have these weird fears that come out of nowhere, and this is because the parents themselves. If you look at the history of these parents, they were probably teenagers or just leaving teenage years when a war broke out in their country.
yeah,
So when they were in their prime, trying to get an education, trying to learn the Deen, they were told to flee.
yeah.
So
Very
their
tough.
whole life they've been running and getting used to a whole new country. So maybe they don't have knowledge of the Deen, right? Where they need to trust Allah, and some parents do, but most parents, they don't
Yeah.
think like that. And I
Cool.
can't blame them. It's the environment they were in, the
Yeah.
situation they were put in. So, and they're trying to make the best of it.
Yeah.
For instance, like you have a mother tell her son, you don't have to wear the thobe to school.
Yeah.
Her son might want to wear his thobe. She might have a legitimate, argument for that.
Yeah.
The brother, if he can wear just a shirt and pants, that's okay. But at the same time, if the brother wants to show pride in his religion, it's also good.
Yeah.
So you have that conflict, which is an understandable conflict, and maybe
Yeah.
a good conflict to have
Yeah.
out of all the things that they probably have a conflict on. So
Yeah. It's really, really, you see a lot of many of these different things. Family is the base of society and the base of the Muslim way of life. And if there's some type of defect in the family, it's going to have a major effect on that brother or sister. So let's say we got out of that young and family stage, and now the brother and sister are both in college. What are some of the personal desires that would cater, that would cause a brother to either pursue Deen knowledge or not pursue it, or pursue secular knowledge or not pursue it?
I think one of the biggest, I would say this is a fundamental aspect, is money,
Okay.
financial stability in the future. And this is why you have many people there's people who don't even they have no passion for what the career that they're going after.
Yeah.
But it's because there's a financial stability that's there that they want to secure in the future. So I think that's a really big aspect when it comes to secular knowledge.
Why people choose secular knowledge?
Yes, why people choose secular knowledge over religious knowledge. And like he mentioned earlier, that some Muslims we don't see money in it, because in many places there's not money in it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you raising your family off of if you memorize Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, right?
SubhanAllah.
So it's a sort of like materialistic mindset as well. And a lot of that is really, as you go on through college and high school, that sort of influence increases because you're told everywhere, hey, well, this job makes this much money, and so person graduated, look at them, they have a nice car, they look successful. And so the idea of success begins to change as you progress through college,
Get older,
and you start to look at success dunyawiyah, right, and don't look at success diniyah.
Okay. What are your thoughts on this, Idris? What causes some people? Maybe let's separate them because having both in the same question is a little bit tough. What causes some brothers and sisters to pursue Deen and choose not to?
Yeah. So, maybe it's just something that the brother in high school, he was just a chill guy, playing basketball, hanging out with different people. But maybe after high school, he decided, I'm trying to change.
Yeah, wake up call.
Wake up call. He did change, and he now wants to really
take it to the next level.
Pursue knowledge, which is good. There's nothing wrong with this.
Yeah.
But we say, wallahi, brother, if our community is gonna be rectified, we need people that are like double-edged swords. We need a guy that has the ilm down. Yeah. And again, you don't have to be a Ibn Taymiyyah or a alim that memorized everything. If you know your basics, and you know like the Arabic language, and you can you know the basics of the religion, and you can teach that to little kids, and you can, right, and you know how to read and write. This is sufficient. Yeah. And then you go to college and you get a degree that actually holds weight. Yeah. Right. Whether you're a doctor or whatever it may be, because you can do it. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's the type of people that are going to lead a successful community. Yeah. When the guy knows his religion and he's practicing it. Not only does he know, but he's practicing it. Yeah. And he's a doctor, or he's somebody. He has a job or a career that is valuable to the community. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's when this guy can actually be followed. Yeah. That's when people actually are willing to come to him and listen to him. Right. But when you have a brother who only knows the religion, the kids that are coming up in the generation of today, they don't hold respect for scholars. So how are they going to listen to you? Yeah. Right. They think, this guy for the
way above my league.
Yeah. No, not even that. But for a job, he's an Uber driver. Yeah. Right. So really, if he's talking about success and the religion of success, where's the success?
Because people only see materialistic.
This is materialistic.
Yeah. So if truly a religion is about success, and Islam made you successful, why are you driving Uber? Yeah. Right. But if a guy, if he sees me and I got the religion down, plus I'm a doctor, I'm a 6-figure guy. Yeah. They're gonna be like, well, this is what I want to be. Yeah. How did this guy do it? Yeah. Right. So it's very important for our brothers that are students of knowledge to think with that mindset. Yeah. Right. And then the sisters, you don't have an excuse. You can definitely go and seek knowledge. In terms of within your own wherever you live, or if there are places where you're going with your dad or your brother's going to take you, and there's universities where it's all women, and it's allowed, definitely do that, because in the past women have been scary when it comes to knowledge. They were unstoppable. And the stories are unlimited. So one time, actually, one of the biggest tabi'in, Sa'id ibn Musayyib, his top student, his wife died. So he got him married to his daughter. Right. So this guy, his top student, the next day he's trying to go to class. Yeah. He's trying to go to Sheikh's class. Yeah. His daughter told him, sit down, I'll teach you whatever my dad is teaching you. Wow. Right? And Sayyid Musayyib is the leader of the tabi'in. Yeah. His daughter saying, sit down, I'm going to teach you whatever he was teaching you. Yeah. So we also need our sisters to do that, because they'll be at home with their kids, and they'll be teaching their kids the religion. Right? Yeah. So we need a balance. Yeah. We need a balanced community. We can't have all shuyukh and no doctors and lawyers. Yeah. And we can't have all doctors and lawyers with no Islamic knowledge. Yeah. One way or another is not going to help us.
Yeah. Who has an easier path when it comes to, let's do Deen knowledge first, brothers or sisters, Uthman? Is it easier for brothers to seek? Yeah.
Brothers, because there's always been a tradition of just the Deen. The majority of the Deen is dominated by men. Okay. In the sense of the madahibs.
Yeah. Most of the ulama.
Yeah. I don't want to go through this whole thing where I'm just like, man, it's like, this guy, man, he doesn't know about this female scholar that was so. Definitely, there are female scholars. Yeah. Muhaddithat. Yeah. Who are actually, huge, I'm saying, putting it down for the Deen. For sure, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. But obviously, if we look in every, alley of the society, we do see in the communities, Muslim communities, the majority of people who are practitioners of knowledge and sciences of knowledge are men. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. So therefore,
is that because they've had an easier path to knowledge? It's
absolutely. They've been encouraged to do so, right? Yeah. And women had more traditional roles in the household.
family.
You know what I'm saying? Family and taking care of the family. So it's just been that way. Now, it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that's been carried on. Now, today we see like a more influx of sisters that are seeking knowledge. This is wonderful, beautiful.
Yeah.
We need women who are actually studying the Deen so they can actually advise other sisters as well.
Yeah.
So they could teach other sisters as well. So they could spread the Deen and be du'a to sisters as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, it's if we're always going to look at it as, you know, men versus women, and a lot of people will take this conversation and look at it that way,
level,
then it's gonna be toxic, and we're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But I think, you know, definitely women are having a lot of opportunities today.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, you know. So.
Yeah, for sure. Idris, what are your thoughts when it comes to, if we take a big giant step towards secular education, why are more sisters successful in secular education than brothers?
Sisters are more successful in that field, maybe because they have less distractions.
Okay.
Brothers have, you know, they're just distracted with sports. And I'm thinking of my community when I say this, the Somali community.
Yeah.
Right, a community that sisters don't play sports like that.
Yeah.
So the sister goes to school, she gets her schoolwork done, she goes home.
Yeah.
Right, the guy, he's playing basketball, he's playing football, he's playing soccer. There's just so many distractions. Just hanging out, even if he's not playing on a basketball team, he's playing basketball somewhere. Right, so that's the time he's supposed to be doing his homework. So maybe he's lacking in school now. Maybe it's something where the guy doesn't have attention, his attention span is shorter than the girl, or, you know, just interest. Maybe he's not interested in science and math, and he's interested in sports because his life is dominated by sports.
Right.
His role models are where the sisters, they're just more focused on school. And then because school is, honestly, it's easy if you focus on it. Like high school here is very easy if you focus on it, you do the work. Right? That's the hard part, is actually doing the work. My brother's lacking that. So that's why I think sisters, and big ups to the sisters, you know, they actually do a good job.
They're strong in this department.
May Allah bless them, and may Allah, you know, make them as strong in the other department as well, in terms of Deen.
For sure. Uthman, does maturity have to do with this?
Maturity.
Do sisters mature faster than brothers?
Yeah, I definitely do think so. I think that sisters, because of some of the components that he just mentioned, that they don't have these sort of distractions as men, so they can focus a lot more. And traditionally, even in schooling, as education goes, men are, when it comes to like high school stuff, so men are sports and they're seen as the jockeys, and the women are the, you know what I'm saying, they got STEM classes and things, and you know, they're really smart and bright, alhamdulillah. So, you know, this is so they do mature much faster mentally than men do. So
for sure. Idris, what about in regards to men having more responsibilities right off? As a young man, he has to provide for his family, mom, dad can't pay the bills around the house, and so they have more responsibility, which means they don't even pursue secular education and they get into work right away. Is that a possibility of why a lot of men don't?
I wish that was true.
That is not even true. It's true. It's not true anymore.
I wish it was true. Maybe it used to be true.
Yeah.
Now the girls are doing this. The women are doing this.
That is embarrassing.
Right. The reason why a lot of sisters, I understand them, why they are really against like our culture. Is a culture that, you know, tells the women, oh, you're supposed to be cleaning the dishes, washing the house, right? Cooking the food. And most sisters are okay with this. Right. They'll clean the house, they'll cook the food. But then they'll go to school. And then they'll go to work. And they'll come home exhausted.
To do the same thing.
Expected to do
cook and clean. And then you have Jama right there.
And he's chilling. 2K.
Doesn't Call that seem just unfair?
No, of course that's
unfair. You're going to hate that environment. You're going to hate that culture. Right?
Yes.
Which is very unfair. So the sister's doing what, at least the brother should be working, right? And providing for them. But the sister's not providing, and she's going to school, and she's working, and she's taking care of the house.
That's tough.
That's why a lot of sisters, they become rebellious. They're like, yo, this is unfair, this is unjust, this is not Islam, which it truly is not. So it's very sad. And then sometimes this guy brings all his friends, and now they eat more than. So it's very unfair. But it's very sad to say, but the men of today, the women are the men of today,
Mm.
and the men are sadly they're not even women anymore because they don't clean or anything. They don't do anything.
Could I add something to that? Just a quick little joke story.
Yeah.
So there was a man in like a Muslim country. He went to go travel, and it's like Arabic speaking. So he's looking for a bathroom. Ain al-Hammam. He's like, "Where's the bathroom?" Hammam. She's looking at him. She says, he's asking for the men's bathroom, right? The men's. So she's looking at him, and she goes, "It's men and the women's. Pick whichever one you want. There are no men today. Just use one and move on, right?" Because it's true today. Today, the concept of rujal,
manhood,
manhood is lost.
It's in destruction.
That needs to be revived. That definitely needs to be
And that's why
revived.
the women are upset because they're, they say men are trash, and there's no men really.
Yeah.
What you're referring to are not men.
It's tough.
Yeah.
If you actually were dealing with a man, you'd be appreciative of a real man.
Right.
The woman would appreciate a real
Yeah.
man, and so we have a bunch of boys. So it really is time to step up.
What do we think are the causes of this mindset and young men especially not being able to carry that level of responsibility that's expected? Or do we expect too much out of them? Rahman, what do you think? Is it upbringing and family expectations? Is it things that society has put in place that they have? Is it because they have it so easy, which they tend to like? I don't have to do nothing.
There's a lot of that. I think I don't think that brothers are actually expected to do much in this society. Just as it goes to work and school and those sort of things, provision. It's not a lot, but you do have today an influx of just kids that are just at home. They're doing nothing. They have no jobs. They don't have to provide for their family because the mom and dad are doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So they're just playing games at home and they're just playing game with life. They're just hanging out. They're not doing anything. And this is where the grievances come from the sisters. Right.
Yeah.
And if we're really truly just and fair, we can't really dismiss that. It's true. So I think that this is another thing that us brothers need to work on, is to actually revive manhood and what it means to be a man within our young brothers, so that their families can respect them, the society and the communities that they come from, they can respect them, and also the women that they're going to be marrying in the future and the children that they have, respect them and look up to them and say, my father, he's a hard-working man. He's always been providing.
I'm not gonna lie though, Allah blessed me with a daughter.
Yeah.
If Allah blesses me with a son, for some reason I feel like I would put a lot of energy. I would do equal energy, but I think my daughter would be that one, that I put emphasis on. Not that I'm gonna be hard on her, but the guy is just like the guy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let him do whatever he wants, but I don't expect much from him.
Okay.
If he does good, great. But the girl, I felt like because she's maybe I'm a man, and that's why maybe that's daddy's little girl, so I expect her to be just a good girl and to be smart and right, where the guy, he has in a society where he has more room to mess up.
I agree. I'm with you.
Is this
That's
I'm
beautiful,
gonna go against you guys.
Okay.
Is this mindset, do you think of, and I think most families are like that, they put more emphasis on the girls. They pay more attention to the sisters. They put more attention on protecting them, protecting their image and honor and dignity, and making sure they're safe. Well, as the men, they give him less responsibilities at the house because he's expected to either make it or not make it. That's his problem.
But no, he would have
And not-
responsibilities.
No, we're not saying neglect the child.
I'm saying.
That's the way.
But people do have this
Majority of
mindset.
the time,
Yeah,
A lot of
definitely,
families do have this
definitely,
mindset, which
definitely.
is
I agree.
they don't put a lot of emphasis on
It's like
young men because he's a man. I would almost kind of do the same thing too. I wouldn't treat my daughters. I would put more emphasis on them than my sons, just because of the fact that. Is it because we naturally think that we have to put more work into our sisters, into our daughters, so that to make sure that they're strong and they can make it? While the man, I'm expecting for him to put in something and not me to put something. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
Now, obviously, when they're young and things like that, but in general, what are your thoughts on that?
I just think in the society that we're living in today, is a lot to do with nurture and nature. you can nurture somebody as much as you want,
Yeah.
but the nature around them
Yeah.
will almost always determine what type of person that they'll become.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is like the brother was mentioning, I think there does need to be a significant amount of investment that is put within your daughters,
Yeah.
much more than your sons. But that doesn't mean that we're neglecting the boys.
No.
Because some people look at this and say, oh well, you guys just let your sons off. No,
Yeah.
our sons will, you know what I'm saying, we will definitely give them tarbiyah bi'idhnillahi ta'ala,
Yeah.
bi'idhnillahi al-bari. But we need to understand that today we're living in a cold world,
Yeah.
and it is not nice and appreciative to our women.
Yeah.
It's not.
No way.
So I look at it from that also angle as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're in danger today.
Yeah.
And if we don't look after them and we don't raise them, give them proper tarbiyah and upbringing, then they will be consumed.
We'll lose a generation there.
Yep.
One brother I know well.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say, because the women are under attack from all angles, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think only a man that has a daughter understands this.
Yeah.
When you have a daughter, that's the most precious thing to you on the planet.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I doubt my son. If I have a son, I highly doubt he's gonna take that pedestal. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So obviously I'm gonna try my best to
Yeah.
protect and keep this girl, more, because
Yeah.
she's more precious to me. And it doesn't
May Allah
make
bless
sense
her
how
too.
people can be angry, because I'm
Yeah.
literally saying I love my daughter more. I'm trying to protect my daughter more than my son. People tell you no, it should be,
Yeah.
Equal
So
percent.
I get what they're
not
saying. It shouldn't be oppressive. It shouldn't be,
No.
responsibilities will still be the same.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, in terms of, I'm gonna stay up with her in terms of, homework or whatever you need.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that connection with her. My son can have a connection with his uncles and things
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
my daughter, I'm the only guy she can really open up to.
Yeah, that's true.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This guy can be buddy with his uncles, his friends.
Yeah.
He'd go to Najib,
Uncle Najib.
Uncle Najib.
Yeah, so he go to Uthman. So you kind of don't expect it, but your daughter, you're
Yeah.
that
Allahu
guy
Akbar.
that's really
Yeah.
her rock, and so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gonna take a lot more.
Yeah. This is a very, very sensitive topic, and I think everything we talk about, especially this topic, it really goes back down to family and how families really treated. But if we talk about adults and how they pursue this topic, you will find that a lot more. It's not that sisters don't want to pursue deen education. It's just that they've already been established in secular education. And one thing about secular education is that over time, it really, really ruins you. What do you think of this, Uthman? Does secular education, something that we've all gone to college, we've seen what it is, does secular education over time, what are your thoughts on it? Does it slowly ruin you and it destroys your deen over time? What do you think of that?
Without any deen that you're actually, if you yourself are not cultivating your spiritual self, if you're not cultivating your deen within yourself during the journey of college or university, then it will be something that destroys you. Because usually what ends up happening is when people just go through college, they zoom through college without any sort of development of their deen or connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What happens is they give their all to whatever career that they have, and they
become the result of that.
And they make some horrendous decisions in life, even those that are maybe detrimental to their akhirah, right? Which becomes hugely problematic. And this is what we're dealing with today: is how are you truly successful, right? How can you have true success if you are not cultivating your Islam on your journey of whatever career that you're seeking?
Idris, what are your thoughts? Does secular education over time ruin a person, brother or sister? But more importantly for sisters, since they are majority in this department.
It depends on the type of education. But if you're somebody that doesn't, like you said, if you're somebody that doesn't really have a grasp of the correct aqidah and the correct creed and belief, it can ruin you. There's a lot of different philosophies that come into college, a lot of different, weird ideologies. And if somebody's not built, from their base and their foundation, then they go into college believing that anything that is taught to them is correct and true. So now it's better to understand the Quran and Islam first,
and
then secular education, because then you let Islam control
filter
and filter it.
Yes.
But once you believe in the other stuff first, once you hear Quran and Sunnah and Hadith, you're gonna use
Out of place.
that
Yes.
to filter Islam.
Exactly.
You're gonna say, no, this doesn't make sense.
Yes.
This is
Exactly.
right, because you're
It's
thinking
okay. We're all going to Jannah.
Yeah,
This is
so-
not
Yeah.
what you are. Let's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
accept everybody.
of
Everybody's okay whatever
Yeah.
they're doing.
So-
Who am I to judge? I can't do it. It's pluralism, bro.
Yeah.
All these, like you mentioned, philosophy is very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
If you don't have any sort of aqidah, that will become your aqidah.
Yeah.
That is your aqidah. And we see this countless times, numerous times.
Mm.
Parents are so proud. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, she graduated from college.
Yeah.
Oh, my son. Oh, I love him so much. She's graduated,
Yeah.
PhD, this is this. But this guy here is probably like the
Poison,
number one person who is actually opposing the Deen in our religion,
Yeah.
in our communities,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Very, very dangerous. So this is why you need to have
Deen education
a grasp
before.
and foothold. If you don't, that will become your.
So I think we come to that solution, which is la budda. You must have Deen education before getting into
Yeah.
secular and this is one of the most things I have
Save
seen in
yourself.
college. I went to college 6 years, and you see people dying over time, especially the people who didn't have any basic knowledge of Deen. They are gone by the second year. And now we're not talking about college and all that stuff today, but college is the home of atheism.
Now it
The
is.
home-
It is the hub.
Today's college
Ugh.
is the home of atheism. Somebody who's not grounded in Deen, there is no way, illa man rahimallah, except somebody who Allah knew their heart was always sincere, will escape out of it. But most people will leave it almost agnostic, if
Consumed.
not agnostic.
Yeah.
almost
Absolutely.
borderline. Some of us, there was some people we met up after college, and they would tell you, my freshman year, I had doubts. See what I'm saying? So college is destructive. And so you mentioned, Idris mentioned, I think one time, which many of our sisters, they're the majority in this department. They pursue more, guys either drop out or they pursue other careers, or they're working, whatever it might be.
Right.
But a lot of sisters who, they feel they have to have a degree in order to have value, which is something very important. But do sisters prepare for these traps?
And the college and the
Yeah,
philosophy.
yeah.
I don't think they do. Because maybe they believe that, that degree is a success.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
no
a
matter
sad way
what-
to thinking, so as she goes on, and it's like, I'm gonna compare it to athletes
Yeah.
who are African American.
Yeah.
When they were fighting for the
Civil
Black
rights.
Lives Matter,
Yeah.
and when they were kneeling, a lot of people on the sideline
Yeah.
who don't make money
Yeah.
were like, man, how's this black guy not kneeling?
Yeah.
This guy worked his entire life
To be here.
to
To
be
be
here,
there.
to make this amount of money. You're somebody that doesn't make $15 an hour. You're gonna tell this guy to throw away. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So the sister's the same thing. They've been working their entire life to get to this place, to get this degree.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell them because Ibn Abbas says this, she's gonna take it?
Yeah.
Absolutely not, because they don't have that foundation.
Yeah.
The foundation is gone.
Yeah.
The foundation is your opinion matters, and use your logic, right?
Subhanallah.
So that's, and they'll take all these classes and listen to these philosophers, and that's where it comes from. That's why we mentioned the sisters more face doubts.
Yes.
Because and it's not a coincidence that they succeed more in school.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas the brothers, they don't succeed in school, and that's why they're into the shahwat and their desires.
Yeah. Subhanallah. We're gonna wrap it up with that. This was a very, very interesting and very big topic.
Fruitful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
SubhanAllah.
But inshallah, we hope that both brothers and sisters. One thing that we have to make sure is that both brothers and sisters are grounded in Deen knowledge before they pursue anything else. So, because that's the main and goal of life, is to be connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to succeed, that's the meaning and purpose of life. And you don't want to lose that just because of dunya education.
Yeah, money.
You can be a doctor, you can make $1 million a year, whatever it might be. But you want to make sure the most fruitful thing, the most amazing thing, the most beneficial purpose of life is to be connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you don't want to risk that for anything. Not a major, not a degree, not a PhD, whatever it might be. All of that is dunya. When you leave it, if you benefit others with it, great. If not, then it has no value.
Absolutely.
That's about it. That chapter is closed. So, and a smart person, a person who has a level of intellect and aql, they would make sure that they have balance both, but prioritize Deen first, and then dunya, and then afterwards doing whatever you can do to benefit everybody else. And inshallah, we hope for families to also take this into consideration. I hope any parents listening to this is a priority, giving your kids your boys and girls the right mindset when it comes to seeking education and putting things in order.
Inshallah.
So we'll wrap with that, inshallah. Any last closing statements? Inshallah. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabina wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.